Hi lovely beings, and welcome to another galactic Mayan astrology report. Beaming at you from my home. So yeah, lots to say, lots to share. You've probably seen that the organisation for young people that I've been birthing for quite a long time is coming into actualisation. So if you've not seen the fundraiser video for that yet, check it out and share it far and wide. So we were just in the Blue Night Wavespell, which was all about, it was a 13-day process, all about bringing the dream to life and moving from limitation in mentality into abundance, which felt really aligned with, bringing esteemed to the world and being like, here's what we're birthing, and working multidimensionally within that too. And now we're moving into a new 13-day process. So on Thursday, I've realised that quite often, like, I say the wrong Gregorian date because I just can't fucking hold it. But Thursday. Well, we also had like the Lionsgate last Wavespell, and it was really wonderful actually to see. I'm enjoying witnessing. There was a lot of people that were like, doubting and questioning really, and discounting the significance of the Lionsgate portal. There is an alignment at this time of year due to our location in the galaxy in Sirius. So the Lionsgate portal is very much a thing, but it's about Sirius as opposed to Leo, I would say. But yeah, lots of people like questioning the significance of, 8-8. 8-8 means nothing because the Gregorian calendar means nothing. But, these frequencies that we, adopt when it comes to time, these matrices that we adopt when it comes to time are created, they create a vibration. So if we are within the 8-8 vibration for that day, because we've collectively said this is the thing that we're following, then there's a frequency to that, there's a thing to that. That's my opinion. But I am really enjoying because I think one of the things within the spiritual community, we kind of go from, I think a lot of the time people move from like atheism to meaning and feeling that connection, but there's not always a lot of discernment. And this, I think, is where like the culty stuff comes in and the group think stuff comes in, because there's like this is the new belief and we adopt the new belief because it's in our field. But I feel like it's really wonderful to witness the more like analytical, and it's just interesting, isn't it? Because I've seen like quite a few people pop up questioning that and other things. And I find it interesting that, again, it was within the Blue Night Wavespell, which is all about like the examination of mentality and the pulling out the threads of conditioning so that we can move into the abundance and the dream. But it also seems to be, a bit of a good representation of where we're at in humanity. And this is kind of the roots of esteemed. I'm going off on one a little bit here, but I will come back very soon. The whole vision, the whole passion, and the whole thing within, I realised being quite young because I've always studied my reality, and I've had amazing, people that have given me nuggets throughout my life, and seeing that when my belief system and my mentality changed, my reality changed. And, it's interesting to kind of see just the way that we're moving forward. Anyway, I'm going to drop that because I could go on for that for ages. But the whole thing with Esteemed is that, creating a space where young people are not being, forcibly created into something through mental constructs being injected into them. Side note, I kind of lost my thread there, but it's great. I enjoy losing my thread because I've got so many of them buzzing around all the time. So, the Wavespell that we move into on Thursday, Yellow Warrior. Yo. How exciting is this? So, the Yellow Warrior is yellow, and these yellow energies are like, we've got the blue energies that are like, go, 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 go. We're going to like, imagine that you're a bottle of pop and we're shaking you up, which is cool. But the yellow energy is more like, ooh, we're going to grow through the underworld. And then when we blossom, there's an effortlessness to the blossoming. But it's really the like under to then blossom. The yellow warrior in particular is all about being a warrior, you know, being a warrior of light. And, you know, warrior doesn't necessarily mean fighting for a cause. You know, if you look at all the I don't even know what it's called now. Oh, martial arts. If you look at the way that like martial art philosophy works, it's about energy. It's about the navigation of their own body and being able to move in accordance with what's coming in to create harmony. It's about flow. And the warrior energy really teaches us about how we flow through evolution. And it's this process of moving out of victim consciousness into the recognition that there is no such thing as that, and it's always about evolutionary expansion. So everything that happens is always about evolutionary expansion. And a lot of the time, particularly, I've got quite a lot of close people in my field that are yellow warriors, and I have a journey with the yellow warrior as part of my codex. And it comes with, you know, quite an intense initiation sometimes. And I'm not saying that this 13-day cycle will, but our lives as humans have come with these really intense initiations. And what can happen with that is then this like looping victim story, because every experience creates the belief system, and then if we keep running the belief system, we keep manifesting or attracting or looking for things that confirm that. So we recreate, and then that reinforces the belief that we gathered from the experience. So when we have these, you know, and it's just this real, and it's beautiful that the yellow warrior follows the blue knight in terms of the Wavespell process, because if we can really hold that thing of like, okay, this is like some crazy experience that we don't really understand, that we don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's thought form created, you know, and this is what the quantum world reveals, like, you know, consciousness with awareness, witnessing, creates. And we have these like dead noisy things going on all the time, and these like whipping round belief systems that are really energetically charged, that are constantly creating and constantly creating and constantly creating. So then when we come into like, okay, so when we have the human experience, if we take it out of the personal and into the collective, there is always this hum of evolution. You know, the way that life works is through evolution. You know, this is what this whole thing is. It started there and we're here, and we're constantly going through this like evolution process. So the warrior energy teaches us to be able to work with the energy that comes into us and utilize it as the fuel that it is. So every time there's something that comes in that feels a bit like, what, or no, or ugh, it's fuel. And it's about not using that ideology as a dissociation. So like, you know, turning off our feelings, because I totally did that, you know, and that was totally the love and light gang in my my late teens. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we just manifest, it's all good. I was also completely dissociated. I couldn't cry. I'd nowhere near even gone through the surface of the descent into the pain that I'd been through. I was just like totally dissociated and like, yeah, everything's cool, man. But really what the warrior teaches us, and what this, because all of the archetypes are aspects of us. They're aspects of the human experience, and this is why this modality is so powerful, because you've got this like row of 20 different facets of the human experience. So regardless of anything, you know, it gives like a full spectrum evolutionary map that whether it exists outside of us journeying it, who fucking knows, but it's an amazing thing to follow. So we've got this particular archetype that focuses on this particular theme, that when we journey, then we can clear some of that nonsense or the gumph or the limitation from that aspect of the human experience for ourselves and for the collective. So yeah, the Yellow Warrior really gives us this transmission of like, it's all evolution, you know, it's all evolution. And if we can stay connected and if we can allow ourselves to descend when we are being asked to descend, then we can do the creation, the evolution, the death, the transformation that brings a different story. And often what I find when we're journeying with the Yellow Warrior is that it's about the reframing of our experiences. So sometimes, and I know that I do, and you know, we all have these experiences that were pretty fucking shitty, you know. And one of my friends that passed last year, when I say last year, I mean last galactic year, one of the final nuggets that she shared with our little community was that, how does this serve me? How does this serve me? And I'm going to really bring, and do you want to know something fucking cool that I've just placed in that second? Oh, she was a Yellow Warrior. Oh. And that's the magic. How does this serve me? So, as you move through this Wavespell, your old stories might come up. Things might come into your reality that feel really challenging, and you're being invited to reframe it into like, this is fucking ninja training. This is me understanding how to work with all of my bodies, my emotional body, my energetic body, my physical body, to like whatever's coming into my reality, nothing's separate anyway, but whatever's coming in, how do I dance with it? And then allow whatever needs to move, but also to come out of victim into empowered, utilizing it as fuel. How does this serve me? So whatever comes in, how does it serve you? And you know, it's really the beauty of these archetypes is that we've got the shadow and we've got the light in every single one, just like all of us, you know. And light being integration, you know, light being like, you bring the shadow to the light so that there's an awareness of the thing. But we have this like amazing thing within the Yellow Warrior that's pretty fucking strong, I would say, on the planet of, you know, victim is the shadow, victim is we're powerless, there's nothing that we can do. And sometimes even like the warrior can be coming from the victim, you know, if we take away the idea of the Yellow Warrior just for a second, but just like even that, it's like we're powerless and therefore we have to fight. But what if we weren't powerless? What if we were creators? What if this whole thing was a reflection of what we are subconsciously and consciously experiencing? So it's the transformation of like, woe is me, into nice one spirit. I can see that there's clearly something else that I need to transform, and you're giving me a gateway and an opportunity to do it. Because, you know, without the triggers, without the shit going down, we wouldn't be able to access the doorway. We have to have the doorway presented to us, and then it's up to us. We can be like, oh my god, the world's shit, and it just keeps giving me these fucking doorways, and I'm not going to go through the door. I'm just going to be like, this is a fucking shit door. Or can be like, oh yo, there's a door. Fuck knows what's going to happen on the other side of this, but I'm going to go and see what happens. So the reframing of what's happened in the past is a big part of that, you know. It's like, okay, so if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be half as conscious as I am. And I know that word's a bit funky, but you know, I mean in terms of having an awareness of what I'm doing and being able to choose how I'm stepping forward, how I'm responding. And I think that's the biggest, for me, biggest definition of the whole thing. It's like, how able am I to stay in my centre in any situation? And we're all in the process with it, aren't we? So yeah, the reframing of like, okay, if that stuff hadn't have happened, and if that stuff wasn't happening in the present, you know, I wouldn't be who I am, where I am, and I wouldn't get taken to the next level of who I am. And this is the whole beauty of the evolutionary chamber that we're in, and just the fact that we get to be in these like seeming separations and have these incredibly personal, emotional realities that are all beautifully woven together, and all these stories that are beautifully woven together for this collective evolutionary thing. It's like, whoa, man. So yeah, the next 13 days, going from victim to empowered creator, receiving whatever comes in, allowing ourselves to dance in whatever way with that, taking it lightly, but also allowing it to crash if we need to crash, because when we crash, there's a part of us that needs to die, that's ready to die. So have a beautiful 13 days, and like I say, if you haven't checked it out, have a look at the Esteemed fundraiser. We're also having an open day on the 1st of September. Please share, give what you can, and help us to bring this into actualization, because, you know, it's a model that can spread. And I think we do need to demonstrate, you know, I've kind of gone and done the research, and I know that if you don't program humans, they still develop. And not only do they still develop, they remain mentally liberated and confident and creative, which is what we deserve to experience as humans. It seems to be the point of the conscious evolution process. That's what's driving all of us, is to get to that place. And also it's what the world needs too. You know, how much more harmonious we can be together without all of that wonky, competitive, insecurity, mess, school conditioning. So us creating like, look, here's it in actualization, means that then we can reveal it to the world. So it's not even just like the kids that are with us, it's what it serves as like an example. And yeah, much more that I could say, which I will continue to see as the time goes on. I send you so much love. I feel like we might transition into Mercury retrograde during this Wavespell as well. And just remember that that's also a time of like, and putting that into context with, you know, the Yellow Warrior, and things might change a little bit, but trust Spirit's timeline. You know, I think sometimes these amazing moments of having to kind of review and have things seemingly fall apart a little bit allow those other parts of us that needed to kind of grow up, or to be a bit more embodied, or to be a bit more refined. It allows those parts of us to go through what they need to go through, so that then when we kind of come back into taking the next step on the back of that, we have this deep or deeper alignment and deeper awareness. So just keep trusting. That's the footnote of the Yellow Warrior. Like, trust and believe. Trust and believe that it's all for us, it's all serving us, whilst also taking care of our beautiful, vulnerable parts, but recognising our resilience and recognising our ability to really birth and be the ultimate expression of ourselves that we can be. Sending you so much love, and see you next time.